We saw local government elections hold over the weekend in Osun State. I would like your reaction to that in lieu of the controversy surrounding that particular election.
There was no election in Osun State as the OSSIEC and the government of Osun State wants the members of the public to believe. There was no local government election in Osun State. All what took place was a charade taken too far. In all polling units in Osun State, no election took place. And that is why you see the
Hello, sir.
I'm trying to adjust.
Okay, so we're having a bit of connectivity issues there with, of course, our guest. Our guest is actually the legal advisor of Osun State APC and the current chairman of Irepodun local government area of Osun State. He is giving us an overview of what happened over the weekend in the state in terms of the local government elections. He was trying to establish that what happened over the weekend in the state is a charade, and according to him, there was actually no local government elections in this state. But I mean, we saw what happened, but we'll of course get more of his insights on this after this break. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course we are discussing the local government crisis in Osun State. I still have my guest with me. Adegoke Ogunsola is the legal advisor of Osun State APC and also the current chairman of Irepodun local government area of the state. He joins virtually. Thank you for your time, sir. Now, before we lost connection with you, you are trying to establish the fact that according to you, you said what happened over the weekend as regards the local government elections in the state was a charade. I'd like you to pick up from there.
It was a complete charade, and if I use the word, it was a ruse, because no election took place in Osun State on Saturday, 22nd day of February 2025. Perhaps what we had in Osun State on that particular day was a congress organized by People's Democratic Party to fill a vacant position in their political parties. It was not a local government election.
Why do you call it a charade? Because, I mean...
It's a charade because you all remember that 10th day of February 2025, the Court of Appeal sitting in Akure delivered a landmark judgment wherein the local government officials that were elected on the 15th day of October 2022 were reinstated when the judgments of the Federal High Court that was delivered on 25th day of November 2022 that sacked the elected local government chairman was said to have been incompetent, and same was struck out by the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal clearly and unanimously agreed with our appeal and declared the appeal to be meritorious, and as a result of that, allowed appeal. And what next is for those who benefited from the judgment of the Court of Appeal to go back to their offices. But alas, the governor of Osun State refused to accommodate them and said they should not be allowed to enter the offices. And you could remember very well, on that particular 17th day of February 2025, in the process of resuming in our offices, one of those who were elected on the 10th day, on the 15th day of November, 15th day of October 2022, in person of late Honorable Remi Abbas of Irepodun local government, were gruesomely murdered by people to have been suspected, people suspected to be higher thugs from the People's Democratic Party. And this caused chaos and political upheaval in Osun State. And immediately we had this, we called upon the Nigerian police to protect us so that we will not be murdered more by the People's Democratic Party. So I believe that there was no election because there is no vacancies in all the offices of the chairmen of the 30 local government areas, as well as 332 councillors who are supposed to have been the representative of the 332 wards in Osun State.
So as of now, what you are saying is that you still remain the current chairman of the Irepodun local government area?
Yes, I'm the chairman of the Irepodun local government who was freely elected by the people of the Irepodun on the 15th day of October 2022. I was in my office today. I went to office yesterday. I performed my official duties. And nobody else could claim to have been the executive chairman of the Irepodun local government up to today. I'm the only one that is recognized under the law and the jurisprudence, constitutional jurisprudence in Nigeria.
When does your tenure expire, sir?
Well, that will be a subject of litigation because we were in office, we were sworn in on the 17th day of of October 2022. And by 27th day of November 2022, we were sacked. So we were supposed to run the office for 4 years. And somebody else occupied the office thereafter. And that was the appointment made in respect of local government by the governor. So he appointed some of the members of PDP to man the position as caretaker chairman. So as a result of that, that will be a subject of litigation, but our belief is that we still have 2 years, 11 months to use as local government chairman in Osun State.
Let's backtrack a bit and talk about the attacks on the secretariat. What do you suspect are responsible for those?
Well, the attacks on the secretariat, on some of the secretariats in Osun State, were in natural fact, we do not wait for people who armed with dangerous weapons to attack us. But the accusing fingers were being pointed at the thugs recruited by the People's Democratic Party. So because it is the People's Democratic Party that made a release that we should not near the local government secretariat. And in my own local government, they came in large number with dangerous weapons, guns, machetes, bottles, and so on and so forth. And the wisdom demands that we should be a little bit cautious so that we will not run into den of our attackers because they laid ambush for us. So we want to believe that members of People's Democratic Party and the agent of Osun State government were to be held responsible for the attacks on the secretariat and members of all Progressive Congress who have been peacefully conducting themselves to resume their duties as local government officials in Osun State.
But the APC is also pointing accusing fingers. The PDP is pointing accusing fingers to the APC, saying that it was their thugs that attacked, these some of these secretariats. You said that they also tried to attack yours. How are you able to? Did you repel the attackers? What did you do to escape?
What I did was that I have ways of gathering intelligence reports in my area. So I sent out some people to gather intelligence for me. That was on Sunday, 16th day of February 2025. And I have the report that they had a NOPNA meeting in the house of one of their leaders and resolved there to kill either myself or the chairman of the LCDA in person of Honorable Kamal Oloyede, and they agreed that any of us should be dropped in the process. So when I gathered the information, I still sent some boys who are my loyalists to go out so that I will have more information. And I used some security agencies to confirm the information. So when I had the information, I kept the information to myself. The following morning, when we gathered to proceed to the local government secretariat, I now deploy the officer in charge of state security in our local government to check the situation for me at the local government secretariat. So when he got there, he saw them arming themselves with dangerous weapons. And police were there to maintain laws and order. But these people who laid ambush for us were invisible for the police to see, because the place where they hid themselves, the police could not see them. And when the police were told of the situation, they didn't have enough personnel to repel them. And when I got the report, I appealed to my people that we should suspend our decision to resume our duties on that particular day. And we all agreed that we should not resume on that particular day. But on Wednesday, 19th day of February 2025, when we had enough security and with the intervention of community leaders within our community, so we have a seamless resumption in our offices at the Secretariat of Irepodun local government.
All right, I want to ask you a personal question. Do you feel safe?
Well, in the current situation, I want to even tell you that if you observe, currently I'm not in my house. I'm somewhere else. So the security of my life and property at this moment will not be guaranteed. And that is why I have to adopt some security measures in my movement.
I'm sure you might not want to disclose your current location precisely, but do you...
I'm in Oshogbo, the capital of Osun State.
Yeah, in Oshogbo. But I mean, you said the government, of the day, in a way, might be blamed. But I want to ask you, do you have specific names you feel might be after your life? Are there specific individuals you suspect?
So if I mention names, they may run away, and the security agencies will not be able to do their work.
So you. But
all I know.
Okay.
All I know is that the state agents are members of People's Democratic Party are after the lives of some of us who have been returned to our position as local government officials.
Okay, before we go on this break, I'd also like to ask you, you said you resume office, you go to work every day. So how does that happen for you? What exactly, do you do every day? Because right now, the issue is pretty much controversial. How do you carry out your administrative functions without obstruction?
Well, for now, we have not been able to do more because of the absence of the civil servants who are supposed to guide and help us to achieve our aims and objectives. But for official reasons, I have to be in office because anybody may come. For instance, somebody came today. The person came to submit some data to me, and I said, if you submit the data to me now, if I collect it, the civil servants in the state, especially local government workers, have withdrawn their services since 17th day of February 2025. There's nothing I can do. I now devise the means. I call one of the workers to come and collect the data because the data it has something to do with the examination they want to do. The primary school students want to do the state government organizes that particular examinations, but they will submit their data to the local government, to the education department. So I had to call somebody to come and collect the documents from the person so that you take it to the appropriate officer who will take the documents to the appropriate office at the government secretariat in the state capital, Osogbo.
Okay, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll of course look at this issue from a broader perspective. Your party as an opposition in the state, that's the All Progressives Congress, how it's pulling through, and if at all, the next line of action on this issue as a party in the state. What will you do next? This and more is what we will be looking at once we return. Stay with us.
Legal practitioner, Barrister Mohammed.
With us, it's still Politics HQ on New Central Television, and we're looking at the local government crisis in Osun State. I still have with me Adegoke Ogunsola, is a legal advisor to that's Osun State APC and the current chairman of Irepodun local government area. He joins virtually from Osun State. Thank you for staying with me, sir. Now, my question to you is, as a party, what is the next line of action on this series of events?
Well, first of all, we want to appeal to the local government workers that the atmosphere is peaceful now, and we have enough security to take care of their safety. We want to appeal to them to return to their work so that we will plan together how to develop the local government areas in Osun State. The civil servants are supposed to be neutral in this kind of situation. And we believe that they are neutral, that the reason for staying away from work is as a result of their safety. And we want to assure them that security agents are on ground to take care of their safety, of their lives and their property. Secondly, we want to appeal to the governor of Osun State to see us as partners in progress in moving Osun State forward. Sometimes in 2011 or 10, when the former governor of Osun State, Ademola was sworn in, was sworn in as the governor of Osun State. Some of the local government chairmen, then, if not all of them, were members of People Democratic Party. And the governor of Osun State then, Adegoke accommodated them until a day to the expiration of their tenure of office, when the Supreme Court said the election which brought them into power was not conducted in accordance with the law of the land. So we want to appeal the governor of Osun State, His Excellency Ademola Adeleke, to accommodate us so that we can reason together on how to improve the welfare of our people in various local governments of Osun State and in the state at large. Also, We don't want to lose anybody because of political reasons. The safety of life and property of our people should be paramount in our mind. The situation whereby we go to the secretariat in peaceful manner and some hoodlums who are suspected to have been hired by PDP who come to disperse us with violence. We only result in loss of life and any other things. So we want to appeal to Mr. Governor to appeal to members of his political party to allow peace to reign in Osun State. We are for peace, and we don't want to disrupt the peaceful atmosphere in Osun State. But in a moment you are attacked, you won't fold your hands and look at your attackers. You may want to defend yourself, and in the process, life may be lost. So as a result of that, we want to appeal to the governor to take seriously the issue of our security, especially those who are reinstated by the Court of Appeal through its judgment of 10th of February 2025.
All right. How would you describe the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke so far as an opposition party? Mr. Adegoke Ogunsola, are you there? Okay, let me repeat my question. I said, how would you describe the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke of the PDP?
You know, we have to cope with what we have on our hands.
You use the word cope?
Since his assumption of office 27th day of November 2022, he had not been doing what expected of him, taking into consideration the amounts of monthly allocation that is being received by the Osun State government from the federation account. Also, we have not been seeing any development in the
Mr. Adegoke Ogunsola, can you hear me, sir? Okay, we lost you for a moment. If you can hear me.
What we have been saying.
Okay.
What we have been saying.
Please go ahead. We are having a bit of connectivity issues, trying to, of course, link with our guest. Adegoke Ogunsola is the legal advisor to the Osun State APC and also the current chairman of Irepodun local government area. I understand he is back now. We lost you for a moment, sir. I asked you, what do you make of the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke of the PDP?
What I've been saying is that Governor Adeleke performed below expectation, taking into consideration the amount of money that the Osun State government had received from the federation account. The developments on ground have not justified, or the projects on ground have not justified the humongous amount of money that have been released to the Osun State government. Also, in the various local governments in Osun State, the 30 local government areas that they have in Osun State, we have not been seeing any development at all. The allocation received by the local government have not been justly used for the development of our local government areas. This is what we want to do different as local government chairmen from a different political party.
Sorry, I would like to get clarity to this. You said the allocations for the local government have not been judiciously used by the state governor. But there is a Supreme Court judgment saying that, talking about local government autonomy, that you get your allocations directly. Are you saying you are not getting, that has not taken effect?
Yes, we hope that we will get our administration.
Did you get my question, sir?
We hope to get our allocation directly. I'm listening.
I said, so are you saying that you have not started getting your allocations directly? It's still controlled by the state government?
You know, we just assumed duty about a week ago. And we have not had access to documents as well as information from the civil servants because they stayed away from work. So it is when we get the information and document from them that we'll be able to say whether the allocation has been released to them directly from the federal allocation account or through the state government. But the information at our disposal is that the last allocation, which was paid to the local government, was paid through the Osun State government.
You said that the governor has performed below par, but there are capital projects, being carried out across some parts of the state, bridges and roads, and also backlog of arrears being owed to civil servants being paid. I mean, does this reflect a government that is performing below par?
The issue of physical project you are talking about is just cosmetic.
Cosmetic?
When you put a flyover where it is not needed, you should have used the money for the flyover to tie roads in rural areas. There are rural communities that are crying for motorable roads, access roads, so that they will be able to bring the farm products to the urban area. Instead of putting overhead bridge within radius of a kilometer, then why can't you use the money to develop part of the federal, state capital and the rural area and the headquarters of the local government? So, to me, the question is, do we need this overhead bridge where it is being constructed? So, the answer is no. For me, the volume of traffic that pass through the area does not require overhead bridge. Then why should we put one there when the roads are not more traveled?
How about the issue of payment of salaries and arrears being owed?
Well, we cannot deny that some arrears were owned by the government of Adegoke, and the promise made by the governor was that within 2 months of his assumption of office, he will pay all. But I think he has paid about 5 or 6 times now. We commend him for that, and we advise him to continue to pay the arrears. But be that as it may, I want to tell you that the arrears is not for all the government officials in the state or the local government officials. It's just for the few senior officers in the civil service. Because level 1 to 8 got their full salary when Adegoke was the governor and when Oyetola took over from him. It's just level 9 to level 17 that agreed then to be collecting half salary. And the state government then promised that as soon as the financial position of the state improve, they will continue to pay. But unfortunately, Oyetola is not in power today. It is Adeleke that is in power. And the financial position of the Osun State government has improved. As we see every month, a lot of money are being pumped to state in order to develop and accelerate the development in the state. But we have not been seeing that particular development, which is commensurate with the money that was released through federation account to Osun State.
All right. Just lastly, before I let you go, in a state broadcast, at the eve of this series of unfortunate events that happened in the state, the governor extensively pointed accusing fingers to the former governor of the state, Mr. Oyetola, has been very, very, complicit in many of the atrocities, particularly at this crisis, local government crisis issue. I mean, he is a member of the APC, talking about the former governor. You are a member of the APC. How do you react? He said that your former principal in the state, should be held to account.
Well, it's laughable when they try to tarnish the image of the former governor of Osun State, His Excellency Adegoke Ogunsola, who is the current Minister for Marine and Blue Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There was never a time he called us to do one thing or the other that is not in accordance with the law of the land. I can assure you that he's a gentleman to the core. If Oyetola was not a gentleman, they wouldn't have snatched power from him as they did in the 2022 governorship election in Osun State. But Oyetola is somebody who will tell you that blood of anybody does not want my desire to occupy the position of the governor of Osun State. There is never a time he had, one way or the other, advised anybody to disrupt the peaceful atmosphere in Osun State. And more so, he's a son of the soil, he's a stakeholder. He has been the governor of the state for 4 years, and he will continue to be one of the leaders in Osun State. So he will not want Osun State to be consumed by political upheaval. So it is not true that Alhaji Isiaka Adegoke Oyetola is accomplished in the current situation we find ourselves in Osun State. Immediately the judgment was delivered, and PDP and OSSIEC, who we regard as a department of PDP, made a release. I quickly cautioned them through a release too, that they should not eat up politics. That if they eat up the politics, that may be counterproductive. So my prediction came to pass, because you are in government, you are the state government. What you are expected to do is to accommodate us, since the court had directed that we should go back to our offices. But the governor failed to do that, because his political party thought if they accommodate us, our performance will surpass that of the governor. And they wouldn't want that to happen, so that their political party will not suffer a defeat in 2026. Okay,
just before I let you go, quickly, what is the relationship between former Governor Rauf Aregbesola, and the APC in the state?
Well, you will have read that the former governor of Osun State, His Excellency Rauf Aregbesola, was expelled from the party. For now, he's not a member of our party. He's patron of a political association in the state called Omoluabi Caucus.
All right.
So he doesn't have any relationship with us, except that he had once been a member of our party and the governor on the platform of All Progressive Congress.
All right. It's been a pleasure. Mr. Adegoke Ogunsola is a legal advisor of Osun State APC and also the current chairman of Irepodun local government area. It's been an honor having you on the program this evening. Thank you for your time.